Good evening, saw people. Gonna do a bit of an update video for you this evening. Lots of news, lots of stuff's happened this week, lots of little bits to catch you up on before we get into the next few videos, which will be introducing some new projects and some progress on other ongoing projects like Broken 268. So yeah, lots happened this week apart from getting the 281 all done and ready. Thanks for all your comments on that. Just a few things left on the 281. I need to do a bit of exhaust. There's a few saws I need to do some exhaust mods for. That being one of them. I also need to think about the governor on that carb. A few of you have made some really useful comments on the governed carbs. Thank you for that. What do you think? Remove the governor and then tune it? Are they easier to tune with the governor disabled or leave it? So there we go. I did a compression test on that saw as well. Might do a little video of a compression test on it. She's hot. That's making 190, that saw. So mega pleased with that. Right, I'm going to pull you off there and show you the 268 because I need you to tell me. I'm probably going to do what I want to do anyway. But what do you think about this, guys? What do you think about this 268? What do you think? Let me pull you off there. Then we'll talk about this. What an absolute travesty. Look at these. Oh, we need to talk about that as well, don't we? Anyway, this 268. Look at this 268 now. She is... I gave her a bit of a clean, guys. Gave her a bit of a clean. Isn't she just cherry now? I really don't think this has done a whole lot of work. I really don't. So look at this cylinder now. Let me get a torch for you. So I started giving it a bit of a sand, and then I thought, I'm just going to give it a hone, see what happens. And that ring, that rusty ring that was in it, is completely gone. So I gave it a hone. The only damage now, as you can see, is over there, is those blooming dings, which must have been from me hammering the blooming... hammering the piston out, but they're all below the exhaust port, so it's not going to affect it building compression. And they've all honed and sanded out flat now. You can't feel them at all. So I'm getting very tempted to put a piston in this and just send it. And I do have a piston. I have a Wolf Creek pop-up for this, sat here with cable rings ready to go. So as you can see, I have done a little bit of work on the cylinder. I've just done the old, bring the transfers up a bit. Make the transfers a bit bigger, same as I did on the 281 really. I've just kissed the top of the exhaust. I don't really like raising exhaust. I need to get a wheel and start doing timing, but I just like to give saws as much time as possible to build compression. So I don't really like raising the roof of those and changing the timing. And yeah, a little bit widened the exhaust ever so slightly. But anyway, done a bit of work on that. So I'm getting quite tempted to just send this, What do you think about that? Oh yeah, the bearings, because the bearings are the big question. But honestly, it is clean as a whistle in there now. This moves freely and beautifully. It's clean in there now. Everything moves freely. And I have had my hand on the clutch like that. I've had my hand on here. There is no play in those bearings at all. So, they're probably not going to last forever. There is an order landing from Wolf Creek Saw Shop. Oh, that's the other news, the Wolf Creek Saw Shop news. But yeah, so there are a set of seals landing for this, which I'm sure it'll need. It's prudent to put some in anyway, isn't it? So yeah, I think this week I might just chuck that cylinder on and see if she makes a spark and see if we can make it to go boom. Let's see. Anyway, let me put you back on the stand and we can talk about more stuff. There we go, back on the stand. So yeah, let me know what you think about that 268. I know, is it heading for a rebuild? I don't know, the bearings are questionable, but I don't know, it did clean up pretty good. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, big order coming from Wolf Creek Saw Shop, or put in with Wolf Creek Saw Shop, so it's going to be a couple of weeks. Ryan again has been mega helpful there. Just what a great guy. Nice to hear your feedback from him as well. You obviously order stuff from him and get on with him really well. So what a super amazing guy. So can't wait to get stuff from that. So most usefully, this segues nicely, doesn't it, into this box that I have down here. So in this box from our deliveries this week, we have a really grotty 288 XP top cover, which means technically it'll be the right top cover for when I put a 288 top end on that other 188 that's got no spark. So that might be a bit of an adventure getting that going, but it needed a top cover and there it was. It's not the world's best one, but it's not the world's worst one either. Right, even more usefully, as some of you spotted, I've bought myself a mityvac. I feel like I've got to the point where I need to be pressure and vac testing saws, really, especially if they're for other people. Like I say, I'm not commercial. I don't do this for a living or for anything else like that. I do it for fun. But I guess with 500 subscribers now, people are noticing me a bit and they are asking me to build saws now and again. And if it's local pros, I'd quite like to build up a relationship with them. So yeah, and if you're doing it for pros, you need to do a pressure and vac test and you need to be as sure as you can that the thing's super nice. But I bought the wrong one. I bought the mityvac 8000, not the 8500. So I'm going to have to get the 8500 because that's the one that does pressure and vacuum. That one just does vacuum. Not the end of the world though, because that one's got the kit where you can do lots of bungs and lots of other bits. So I'm not completely annoyed with it. So yeah, that is our mail call for this week. And the last bit of news I'm going to share with you is this, because I'm not going to go too deep into this because I'm going to do a video on this one on its own. But yeah, let me just grab you and talk to you about this because it's annoying. Okay, look at this. Local arborist wanted a 70cc saw, knew about the legend of the 440 or the 044, and thought I'm going to get me one. As you do, you go on eBay or Facebook or something, and you go and buy one. £450 this was, and it lasted 3 tanks of fuel, which is just rubbish, isn't it? No idea what could have happened, but obviously the first thing I did when I saw it was pulled the cord. It's got to be the first thing you do, isn't it? And as you can see, there's no compression there at all. So I said to him, it's got no compression. There and then I pulled the plug out of it, looked through the plug hole, and of course she's scored to hell. So it's just horrible, isn't it? You buy a second-hand saw, 3 tanks of fuel later, it's scored up. So it might not even be 3 tanks of fuel. So I don't know. We're going to have to rebuild it, but we're also going to have to find out why it went. So it's a Pro, so you've got to ignore the normal stuff. It's got to have had proper fuel in. Apparently it had Aspen 2-stroke in, nice pre-mixed 2-stroke. And you've got to say it probably had a sharp chain. So again, it's got to be pressure test. Are the seals gone? Who knows? But well, maybe it was always scored. Maybe someone has just bought it. It's one of those things, isn't it? Probably someone has, I don't know, I'm just totally guessing here. Maybe someone has just bought it, scored up, put a piston in it, tried to save it. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, stripped down video on that coming. But I've already got a cylinder coming from it. We've got a big bore and a pop-up coming from Wolf Creek for that. But anyway, I'll leave you there, guys. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe, tell all your soulmates, all of that stuff. Thanks for your comments. Give us some comments on all the info in this video. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Strip down on this, build up of that. That's the next few vids, I reckon. Great to see you all. Have a happy Sunday. Bye-bye.